Welcome back to the BoyoZ podcast. This is episode 2. We have a guest right here. Let's freaking go.
Whoa!
Hello. It's great to be here.
No sound effects, unfortunately.
I'll add in later. This is very in post. That boy BombSolomon
What's
is
going on?
also a Twitch streamer and the best player of Tetris I've ever seen in my entire existence.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Hello. I'm yes, my name is BombSolomon. That's my creator name, not my tax name, but my creator name. I do play Nintendo classics, Tetris, and I'm just very happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Heck yeah, man. Congratulations being our first guest. We do have a couple of more guests lined up. Unfortunately, I got sick earlier, so I couldn't get my man Soup because we didn't have an actual day. When I was asking, I completely forgot after getting sick since I was bedridden for 2 days.
Oh, I'm sorry that you were sick. I've actually also been sick these past couple of days, but I'm back on the upswing. So I hope that you're also feeling better.
I am, and I'm glad you are too. What were you sick with?
All I know is that I was sick with not COVID because I got tested, and it was not. I have testing available to me through work, and so thankfully that was done, and I was not dying. So that was great. Had a little bit of a fever, a little bit of a stuffy nose. So if I sound a little unusual, that's why. But I got my water. We're good to go.
Heck yeah, bro. I don't know what's going on right now. It seems like it's getting everyone. Like it's going around like a third time.
Well, I didn't have COVID. I just had a stomach bug, which
I
don't know which one's better, which one's worse, because they're similar. But I definitely did not have a good time. I'm not going to get into 100% detail, but my stomach was empty by the half of the first day. I was just emptied out. Man. It was bad.
I hate that feeling.
Mm-hmm. So that's how I went, and I couldn't drink any water, so I would take sips, but my stomach would just feel so uneasy as soon as I would drink any kind of water, any liquids at all. So, yeah. I hope you had a better time being sick than I did.
Yeah, just chilling out. Nice time to take a little bit of a break. I was working from home and taking care of that stuff because everyone wants my attention this time of the year. I work for a school, so this is prime time for everyone getting my attention. So try to keep up on stuff.
Did the school year just start?
It's no, the school year didn't just start, but the academic quarter just started. So everyone's back from spring break. They're like, "Hey, we want to do stuff." Can we, Mr. Solomon, can we do things? Not that they call me Mr. Solomon. That'd be
yeah,
Mr. Bomb.
Call you by your gamer tag. Okay, but on the real though, if someone came up to you and said, "Mr. Solomon," what would be your first reaction that they knew your gamer tag?
Well, Solomon is part of my real name. So if people say Mr. Solomon, I usually say, that's my father. You don't need to call me Mr. Solomon. But yes.
Don't call me Mr. Mr's my father.
Yeah. Do you know him? Oh, I didn't know. then we can do it that way. But yeah, I am one of those people who has part of their real name in their gamer tag name. It's a thing, but you're able to put it together.
Yeah, I understand that. A lot of people just call me Red, even in person. Robot calls me Red in person. We could be hanging out, but I also call him Robot whenever we hang out in person. I can't get used to calling him by his real name.
Yeah, it's weird because we talk to each other all the time in here. So like, hey, legal name, how you doing, bro? I didn't even know that's what you did for a living. That's cool.
Be a teacher.
Are you a teacher? Like, can you get into detail or?
Oh yeah, I can give you a little bit of detail. I'm not a teacher. Yeah. I work at a state university. I'm a clubs advisor. And so anytime anyone's in a student club, whether it's a new club or an old club, they come to our office for if they need funding or if they need help with event planning or if they need help with kind of whatever is going on. They use us as a resource. Spring quarter, where I live in the Pacific Northwest, the weather's getting really nice. Finally, after 9 months of rain and clouds, the sun is starting to sometimes be out, so people want to do stuff outside. People want to have events again because COVID shut everything down for such a long time. So our office keeps pretty busy, especially during the spring, to kind of help people get those kinds of things going. That's kind of the middle of the season that I'm in right now. But I've done that for the past 5 years. But I've worked in education my whole professional career.
Oh, that's sick.
And when you say that, okay, so this is just a follow-up question. Do you guys get snow where you live?
We get snow probably once or twice a year. But it's nothing major like what you see on the East Coast of the United States or in other parts of the United States. Here a big snow is like 3 to 4 inches of snow. It's not a whole lot. Yeah.
Are you in the West Coast with us?
I am on the West Coast with you.
Okay. The best coast, of course. Nobody else can tell me otherwise.
Yeah, West Coast, best coast.
Let's go. That's what I like to hear, bro.
If you think the East Coast is the best coast, leave a comment. But you have to be subbed, otherwise I won't care about your opinion.
Got him.
Oh my god, bro.
Yeah.
Dang. So that's crazy. Okay, so I forgot to write down. I forgot to write down stuff as well. I was like, I'm gonna prepare. I'm gonna write down a few questions for him. And then I started playing bass and I forgot.
I have some good general questions.
I'm so happy you came through.
You can start. Start wherever you like.
Yeah, I have this first question. How long have you been streaming for?
I have been streaming for, let's see, we're probably coming up on about 2 years of streaming consistently. I purchased all of the prerequisite equipment kind of a long time, like way more than 2 years ago, because I thought that I wanted to do a podcast, but it turns out that I just had depression, and so I was like, I'm just gonna buy myself a bunch of equipment and then not really do anything with it. But around,
buy yourself out of it.
Exactly. Around 4 or 5 months after the pandemic started, though, I got a capture card. I already had the camera. I already had the microphone, et cetera. So I started playing games regularly online. A whole bunch of friends that I have locally also started doing it. But I am the only one out of that kind of real life friend group that still does it consistently. But I started around 2-ish years ago.
I've noticed that happened to me as well when I started streaming for fun, and then I've noticed like more and more, which is really cool that you streaming inspires others to stream. Like that's such a good feeling.
Oh,
one of the feelings that I go for it.
No, and let me tell you, like I was probably the last on that train. Like a couple friends of mine were much more gung ho about it. A group of friends of mine also do Extra Life every year. Extra Life is a benefit for Children's Hospital, and so like that's where I was kind of introduced to the world of streaming when I started. Like I didn't know anything about Twitch culture. I barely know anything about Twitch culture still at this point. But a couple friends of mine were much more into it than me. But I was like, yeah, I'll give it a try here and there. But then I was like, okay, well, if I'm gonna do this, like let me be more consistent about it. So I started doing it that way. And that's where it kind of picked up.
To be fair, staying away from Twitch culture is probably a really good thing to do nowadays. Oh my god, it gets bad.
It's getting a little out of hand.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys hear about big streamers talking about how subathons and just stream marathons are a bad thing?
I mean, I can't imagine that anyone continuing to pay money into a system that requires you to continue to be on camera being healthy for anybody in that situation. Is that what it had to do with? By chance?
Exactly. So it's more of the well-being of the streamer, because yes, you are getting, so the argument pretty much is, yes, you are getting paid to stay on camera, but at the same time, it's more of like, how much screen time should there be? Should there be a cap? Should there be a limit? Because sitting down in one spot for 24 hours, not good. Yeah, against popular belief, it is not good. And I think one of the arguments that they also used was that Ludwig had done it the best. I saw some clips. He's got cameras all over his house, so he can go cook a meal. He can go work out in wherever his gym was, and then he could just go back into his room. I don't know how he did it. I would actually love to find that out. but the fact that he's got cameras that he can just keep swapping over to is insane. Unless he just switched, has multiple PCs all over his house, which I would imagine since he's got money. But even then,
I feel like that's the whole kind of, like, you don't know what the production is behind something until you actually understand what that production is. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like if you have the ability to have a camera system all over your house that is linked together by some computer system, and you have the means to be able to control it or have people to help control that, control that on your behalf. That's completely next level to you or I in our room or our living room, with 1 or 2 cameras set up to, to do this. Like that's next level already.
Yeah. How much are you willing to give up privacy wise? Right.
I have a lot of thoughts about that too, but also
that's what we're here for, man.
No, I think that's one of the biggest things that I've reflected on over 2 years of doing this. Like, and I'm not a large audience streamer by any means, but I have a lot of thoughts about like the revenue sharing model. I have a lot of thoughts about like, again, like you were saying, Red, like how much privacy people give up in order to have the audiences that they have. Like it sometimes feels a little dirty to be playing into a system that does that, but it also lets me connect with a lot of people, and it lets me play games that I like for audiences that I otherwise wouldn't be able to reach. So where do you position yourself so that it's still advantageous to you without giving up more than you're willing to give up for it?
Yeah. Like, actually, Robot, I can ask you this, because I know you never enjoyed using a cam, but now that you have a camera, how do you feel?
Well, I mean, it's just, I guess it's the same as everyone when they first doing it. Even you, it's like when I first bought my camera, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to use this. I bought the 720p one because I was like, I was just getting into it, and I was like, I don't want them to see me too clear. So I got 720p one. I put it up on my thing up here, and then I used it for like 10 minutes, and I was like, this isn't working, because it makes you feel like weird. Like it's you can't like fully do stuff. Yeah, it's so weird. But
it's just there. It feels like there's an eyeball either on your monitor or wherever it's set in your room that's just constantly looking at you.
You can't like be yourself.
Like I know you have like that one camera setup. Solomon, do you have a one webcam setup too, or like multiple camera setup when it comes to streaming?
99% of the time I have a one camera setup. Only very recently did I have a computer that was powerful enough to be able to push 2 cameras to begin with. But I do right now. I use a Logitech Brio, and but the camera I had immediately before this was like a C615F, which was a 720p camera that I was using for while I was working from home. Everything else, so I'm familiar with that. But I feel like I grew very numb to that right away because I was using it so much for work that I was like, it's just invisible in my bedroom at this point.
I can see that.
Like I'm already on calls all day long. People see I'm doing the motion in front of my face, like, people see all of
I
this,
see it.
every day as it is anyway. I've got nothing to hide when it comes to stuff like that.
I got a lot to hide. That's what my chair is here for.
Oh, that's the pro
Nobody
move.
sees the dirtiness of my room unless it's
so
on my
strategic.
bed. Yeah,
That's
strategic
the
placement.
move. I used to
So,
in my old apartment, I didn't have a green screen or anything like that because that'd be ridiculous. But I set up things and I tried to be strategic. So like if you looked behind me in the mirror, you could see the reflection of I'm Filipino. You could see the reflection of like part of the Filipino flag in the reflection. So like if students were calling me, they a handful of them noticed. They were like, "Wait, is that a Filipino flag in the background?" I'd be like, "Yeah." And so I'd give them little, if you know, Easter eggs to look for in the background. But when you're streaming, like, that doesn't matter. Like nobody's looking at the minutia of the detail of the background of your stream in your camera. They're looking at what you're playing most often. So that detail was lost on audiences, but that was a nice thing for myself.
Yeah, dude.
That's something I was also wanting to ask you. Is like, when it comes to like going to a stream, are you someone who would go there for the gameplay mostly, or or would you go there because you really like the streamer and their energy, or just both? Because like you said with the camera, like in the background stuff, like for me, I strategically place all of my nerd stuff in the background right here. So even if you're looking behind me for a second, you'll find something different back there.
Yes. I guess
full screen your stream really quick. I want to see it.
No, I guess I came to it from kind of a different angle. So I've a lot of the internet stuff that I consume is actually still from YouTube, and so I watch, when it comes to gaming stuff, I watch stuff like The Completionist, Super Beard Bros. That's like the main stuff that I pay attention to. Matt McMuscles, the people who spun off from us, Two Best Friends Play, Super Best Friends Play. And
wait, the Bearded Brothers, the ones who play 7 Days to Die?
No, Super Beard Bros, which is Gerard Khalil, who's the completionist, Alex Faciani, and Brett Bayonne. And a lot of it is just gameplay and people cracking jokes, talking, having a good time. And so that's still kind of the same stuff that I look for. Honestly, though, for streams that I watch, 95% of it must be people that I've either met through streaming or already know in other internet communities. Like I don't watch a lot of quote unquote like big name streamers. I think among my friends who all play Smash, like I don't watch competition level Smash. Like they'll like watch tournaments and stuff together, and that's not really my scene. Like usually I'm clicking into streams so I can talk with friends and hang out and interact with people that I have at least maybe like a 1 degree of separation connection to. But if I have no connection to that person, then it's like, okay, kind of whatever for me. But that's how I kind of seek out quote unquote new people to watch. Like it's definitely because there was a connection to somebody that I already know versus finding
there's got to be some way that you can at least, like, if you guys were left in the room, you guys can still have a conversation, pretty much, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the awkward, we're all just waiting in the reception room of the doctor's office, just kind of staring at each other, looking at watches. You know, there's a People magazine, I'm going to read that instead. Like that's not the scene that I'm really into.
Did you guys ever have this issue growing up? It might be something that I grew up, but because, well, just to give it a little bit more context too, I'm Mexican, but I'm not a short Mexican. I'm actually above average, which is really nice. But because of that,
okay, dude.
And just gotta flex really quick. But because of that, since I was taller than the average Mexican, and I was also a chubby kid throughout my whole life, and I would always, you know how the sun hits your eyes, so you kind of squint and you look mad. Yes. I always looked mad. I had the resting bitch face, and a lot of people apparently were intimidated by me because they just see this big kid who's just walking around, not minding his own business. And I remember this happening. I was walking home from school. It was high school. I was in like grade 9, and I was passing by this group of kids. There was like 4 of them. And they were laughing. They were having a good time. They see me. They stopped, dude. They stopped talking. They faced forward. and we pass each other. And I'm just like, yo, why were they scared of me, bro? Like, I didn't do anything.
That's the scowl I put on at the store when I don't want people to help me and I just want to shop on my own.
So you'll make the face if you don't want anyone bothering you.
Yeah, I strategically deploy the face if I don't want to be bothered with.
That's a good idea.
But that's a personal barrier.
Yeah, I like dressing in all black, so most of the time they're trying to think I'm stealing or something. But, which I got a few more stories for that, but we'll save it for another time. But so you guys don't have that problem where someone doesn't want to talk to you because they think you're either just pissed off or someone who might come off as rude or mean, which I am rude to an extent, but it's only if they're rude to me. So I will match the energy kind of thing.
Reflect it back on them.
Yeah. Hey, parry this, right?
Parry this.
What I do there.
I don't know about that. Like I'm just under 6 feet tall. I think with masking and everything, and my hair is pretty long. And so if I if I leave my hair down and I'm wearing a mask and all you can see are like my eyes and above, if I'm making like a furrowed expression on my face, I think that people will just be like, I'll leave that guy alone. But the counter to that, and especially prior to COVID, is that I would often try to make a very purposeful effort to smile at like babies and infants, so that they know that like, oh, okay, like tall, brown-skinned Asian men are not scary people.
Yes,
it's very difficult to do that now because, you know, with what usually when you're wearing a mask, it's very hard to smile with your eyes in a way that's unintimidating and also be looking at a small child. But it is something that I definitely kept in the back of my mind. Like I'm going to do my tiny little part to make sure that this child knows that tall, brown-skinned Asian men are not scary. I'll smile at babies, and then, you know, their parents can go like, "Oh, hi," you know, and, you know, do the thing where, as if the baby can understand what's happening. But, you know, try to set a good example. Really imprint early on that
on the kid.
that friendliness.
Asians are friendly. Asians are friendly.
Exactly, confirmed. You heard it here. All of them.
Hey, man, Asians are friendly. You guys should subscribe just for that.
Right. Make it happen.
Bro, but I don't think I can't see you having that problem because you just give off a good vibe. I've never had a problem whenever we go somewhere. Like, you know, when we went on that road trip, I didn't see people having a problem talking to you.
Well, yeah, you know, like, well, like you said, like your resting bitch face, right? I feel like my resting face is just like, I just look bored. I'm just completely like, neutral. Like,
when can I have my next ice cream?
Yeah, or I'll just be looking at someone, and then they'll look back at me. But then I always do like my big old smile. Like, as I say, I gotta do like, I make myself smile a little bigger, and then I'm like, yeah, man, what's going on? I kind of like go into autopilot in like every social situation. If someone's like, hey there, I'm like, oh, hey, how are you? That's the first thing every time. So I guess that could be like, the reason why people have no problem talking to me is because I immediately go into happy, big social butterfly mode. And then the moment they leave, I'm back to bored out of my mind. Face.
That's pretty advantageous. Though.
Yeah.
You know, like there's nothing wrong with being able to put on a charismatic face.
So you're role playing is what I'm hearing, guy. You role play when you get into social situations.
Maybe. Hey, maybe, bro. That's why I'm so good at it.
Aren't we all? Aren't we all just?
Dude.
Isn't every social situation just another chance to roll a d20 and just hope
it
for
really
the best?
is though. Oh my. Okay, so what is the term that I'm thinking about when it's like a gecko? I think so. Whatever that term is. So
chameleon.
Is it a chameleon? Okay, yeah. So it's pretty much what I'm trying to get to. Is like, let's say you have, you know, your different group of friends. You could be closer to one than others. So you have slightly a different persona when it comes to people, but it kind of like depends on them. Do you guys know what I'm trying to say?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. If people didn't have that, if somebody told me that like I am consistently 100% the same person in every group of people that I interact with, I'd be like, you're a BFP. Like, that's the phoniest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Like people have different modes with different groups of people, with different people that they trust, with different people that they know. If you don't have that, like, oh, God bless you. But like, I can't imagine not having that kind of skill of separation in your life. Like, sometimes you turn it on, sometimes you turn it off, sometimes you turn it up, sometimes you turn it down. Like, that's a natural human thing to be doing with groups of people.
It all depends what your stats are in, man. Do you got more charisma or do you got more intellect, you know?
Got none of that.
What do you mean? That's such a
I put it on to dexterity, bro.
Learns a guitar in like a guitar song in a few days. Yeah, I don't got no intelligence.
Intelligence meter off the charts, bro.
You gotta have some intelligence if you're learning a song on guitar, whether it's a cover or whether you're reading it off notes. If you're able to play it back without having to read the notes, there's some intelligence there.
I guess, or I mean, it's also muscle memory, a little bit.
Yeah, but you had to get to that.
Yeah. You know? True. Dang it, you're right.
Damn, smart and handsome. Damn, ladies.
So you're talking about yourself for a second. Ladies.
No, I got my lady. I got my ladies.
And so humble too.
Jeez.
Incredible.
Right. I have another question before we go off on another tangent, but that's okay doing that.
I hear you like tangents on this show.
Which honestly, compared to the first episode with how everything went, even with its bad quality, but now we have our good microphones. Oh, it's such a jump. But okay, going to the second question for Solomon. Do you consider yourself a variety streamer, or do you consider yourself a dedicated game streamer, whether it's one or two games?
I guess I'd consider myself a variety streamer. I never call myself that when I'm describing myself. I just say I'm a streamer. Or if I'm describing to people who don't know anything about Twitch, I just say that I do broadcasting. Because that's less of a, I feel like that's less of a mental jump for people to make.
Yeah, and there's no stigma to that.
I was in a seminar last summer about like discussion facilitation for work with like people who didn't know me. And of course, when you're on a video call with other professionals and they see that you have this giant microphone and these headphones on, right? Like, and everyone else is on their webcam with their AirPods in. They're like, oh, like Solomon, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, I just tell them like, oh, I do amateur broadcasting. They're like, oh, wow.
Oh wow,
that's such a professional way. I'm putting that on my resume. Oh my god.
So that's kind of the way that I describe it to people who have no idea what Twitch is, right? Like if I do Twitch, they'd be like, what? Like, okay, I'll skip that. I do amateur broadcasting. But when I'm on Twitch, I'll just say like, I'm a streamer who plays. I say I play classic Nintendo games, and I say I play Tetris, because those are the two. If you tune into my channel when I'm live, it's odds are great that I will be playing one of those two things. But other than those kinds of descriptors, I think I don't know if I ever get way more specific than that.
It's actually really nice, because anytime someone has asked me like, oh, do you stream, or like, hey, what do you do? I've never enjoyed the fact of saying, yeah, I stream, or I stream on Twitch, or for some reason or especially when Robot jokes about it, calling me an influencer. I hate that. I hate that so much. I hate it.
I'm a content creator. For me, I don't feel like that description makes sense for what I do, because all I'm doing is talking in front of people with my face overlaid on top of a video game, right? Like, I'm not doing creative transformation. I'm not playing music like Robot does. I'm not like doing creative editing like you might see on some YouTube channel. Like, I just play a game. I talk with people, and
you're all too nice for your own good.
And I'm there. I feel like that's why I'm very comfortable calling it broadcasting versus calling it like content creation. And
yes,
for myself.
I like that, because content creator, it is a broad term, but it is for people who are, whether it's making videos, podcasts, streams, it is a broad term, and it became very popular. But there's something about live broadcasting that I just really love. Like, it hits the nail so nice for me. I'm gonna start using that.
Everyone of all ages.
That one's for free. Yeah, everyone. Yeah, that's it too. Like, if I had to explain to somebody's grandparents, oh, Solomon, what does Solomon do? Oh, he's an amateur broadcaster. Oh, okay, great.
Oh yeah.
What radio station can I listen to him on? Oh shoot, it's an internet station.
Twitch.tv/
I'm on FM.
Dude. That would actually be cool. If someone, you know what, I'm taking this idea. Nobody can take this. Just FM style listening to streams. That's it. No video, nothing. You're just listening to it. But it's like a website for that.
I think they call that a podcast. Surprise.
Yes, exactly. Except it's live.
Whoa.
Except it's live.
Dude, that'd be sick. Make a website and make a radio just for that. Like make a radio station just for people who are doing podcasts. That'd be an interesting idea. I mean, it's just Twitch basically.
People do that.
Yeah.
Guys.
But like,
I know. Well, Sirius FM would technically be like the biggest one, right?
Sirius. Oh yeah. I don't pay for that.
Yeah, no, same here. I don't. No thanks. I don't have. My car can't even take that. But whatever. Anyways. too poor for that, bro. All right, I do have a couple of other questions. What do you think is the hardest part about broadcasting? I said streaming, but take a look at that, man. Broadcasting.
Already adapting.
Mm-hmm.
It's the hardest part. For me recently, I think that the hardest part has just been knowing, kind of keeping the goals in focus and just like, okay, why am I still doing this, right? Like I did a deep dive into my analytics at the end of the last calendar year because, you know, that's what I do. And I realized that I had been on my Tuesday, Thursday schedule for over a calendar year already. And that's kind of when it dawned on me, like, oh my gosh, I've been doing this seriously for over a year and a half already. I've been doing it on Tuesdays and Thursdays for the last 58 weeks, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I think that the most challenging thing is kind of keeping in focus. Like, okay, I already know, and I've told myself, I don't think that this is what I want to do, like primarily professionally. Like I do think the idea of becoming a like the way that I sustain myself and put food on my table is being a Twitch streamer. like I've already put that idea out of my head. I feel like that would do my head in. But
nice.
But I do think about a lot about like, well then, what am I doing? Like I'm playing video games for people and talking to people, but kind of keeping at the forefront of your head, like, okay, why are you still doing this? It's because you get to connect with people. It's because you get to share games that you enjoy with other people that maybe they haven't seen. And it's because you get to, meet and connect with people that you definitely otherwise wouldn't have. And we live in this miraculous age of the internet where you can connect with people across the world in a way that would not have been possible even 5 or 10 years ago. Like those are the reasons that I do it. But it's really difficult to keep that in mind when the physicality of like, all right, I'm going to be sitting in this chair for the next 2 hours and 45 minutes and I'm going to be pressing buttons and these lights will be on in my face and maybe I'll get somebody unpleasant that I have to deal with in the chat. And, like get or hardships. or yeah, like the mental hardships of just being like, all right, I'm going to be on for the next 3 hours, twice a week or 3 times a week or 4 times a week, whatever that happens to be. Like, I think that's kind of the most difficult thing to deal with of like, okay, I need to keep making sure that the benefits that I believe that I'm reaping from this are worth the, just like with anything else, like worth the grind, effort, the effort that you're putting into it. The grind, I guess, but like it's definitely a self-subjected grind, right? Like nobody is holding a whip to my back and saying like, you must do that, like I haven't signed any contract with Twitch yet, right?
Master,
so
please,
they don't
no.
Right, like, Master, please, can't I eat another bowl of oatmeal before I play Tetris for the next 2.5 hours? Like, no, rotate those blocks, slave. Like nobody's saying that to me, right? So I have to make sure that I keep those things in mind while I'm also like, oh god, I'm gonna play a game that's gonna frustrate me for the next 2 hours. What am I doing this for? And then reminding myself, like, okay, I'm gonna do something pleasant because this is supposed to be my leisure time and it's supposed to be my free time. like what am I putting my free time toward? That's also something that I try to keep in mind.
It's funny thinking about that because I think about it boggles my brain thinking that you can stream Tetris from 4 to plus hours maybe if you do that pretty often. Or
that's
like when
that's
Robot
too much
plays
time.
yeah, oh my god, or like when Robot plays Smash for like 8 hours in a day if he has a free day. I can't understand that. But then here I am, I'll play Sea of Thieves for like 8 hours on a day and the time just flies by. So
oh man, I haven't had a game like that for me in a long time though. I'm the type of game when I sit down to stream, if I push more than 2 hours, like it already feels like a lot. And if I go above 2.5 to 3, like that's already record breaking territory for how long I've been live in any quick succession. Robot will know we have another friend who will stream Smash most days of the week and his streams will go for 3, 4, 5 hours a day. And I'm like, I don't like. No, it's somebody else, and I'm just Chewy. Like,
Chewy.
it's Chewy, and I'm
man.
like, oh my bones would just wilt. Like my ligaments would disintegrate into nothing. Most recently, I did a. You should get him on. Most recently I did a birthday. Like I did a stream for my birthday back in February, and I was on for like 3.5 hours. And by the end, like after I shut everything off, I was like, I can just feel my eyes melting out of my face already. I'm like, oh my god, I can't
staring at the screen for so long.
Yeah, it's yeah. I think that's something that also sets me apart from most of my streaming peers, is that my streams are pretty short. Comparatively speaking, my streams are pretty short. I usually go about 2-ish hours, and even that for me is like long to sit down and play one game for that long in front of people for that long. Because most of my streaming peers will do like longer term, or it's like versus arenas, for example, and they'll go like 3 or 4 hours, and I'm like, I don't know how you do that. It's too much for me.
Yeah. How do you spend 4 hours in arenas,
bro? I don't know, actually, to be honest. I might just be a masochist secretly. I don't know, because like I love the game so much, even when I lose like 80% of the time. It's just one of those games where like, well, I also like playing with people too. Like if I'm just going online and quick play by myself, I can't do that. That's torture, because that's just me and my thoughts alone. Heck that, bro. But if I'm in
alone with your thoughts, nobody likes to do that.
But if I'm with someone, like in an arena, or like I'll do my thing where I'll go on Twitch and I'll look up Super Smash Bros. Game, and then I'll sort it from like lowest views to high, and then I'll just look for people who are doing arenas and stuff, make new friends. It's one of those things where I can be social without having to be social, you know, and also kick ass. You're really good at that too.
I do think that makes a really big difference, though, because a big difference between the games that I usually play on stream and then the games that my streaming peers play is that if you have an arena in Smash Brothers, for example, we'll use Chewies as an example because it's an easy comparison point. Like you're not playing the entire time. Like you might be talking with the audience, but inevitably, you know, if you lose a game, you're waiting for your turn back again, and you can talk with the audience and you can be manipulating things or working or working on other things. And I think that helps break up the mental pace. For me, if I'm playing like, let's say I'm playing a platformer, or if I'm playing Mega Man or even Tetris, like that's constant input for me into the game from frame 1 all the way to the last moment of me playing that game. Like I do think that distributing that intensity kind of across the entire time that you're on does help a lot, because it also gives you time to be interacting with your audience, and it gives you time to be doing things that are not intensely focusing on the game that you're playing, versus if you're playing a game like, I don't know, Super Mario 64 and like going for a PB, like a world record for speed running or something like that. Like your intense concentration has to be on that game the entire time for that level of execution that you need. And I think that level of effort is definitely different to, well, let me socially host an arena and also play some games and interact with my audience, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like I do think that those are slightly two different experiences to be giving people, if that makes sense.
That does make sense. Actually, that gives me a question that I can ask Robot about BombSolomon. All right, Robot. How often have you watched his streams?
I'll usually have him on whenever he's streaming. So I'm not always there, because most of the time I'm like either recording something. But if I see that he's live, I'll put him on in the background. I'll have him on my other monitor or something, and then I'll go back to whatever I was trying to be productive in.
Because that wasn't the actual question, but it was more of like a context question. So the actual question is, whenever he's playing Tetris, does he read the chat as he's playing? And if so, how good is he at it?
He does, actually. It's crazy.
Really?
Dude, now that you say that, I that's even crazier, that you're like in this intense situation. You're in a intense 1v1 right now, and the blocks are coming down. Your size absolutely just skyrocketing upwards. And then you look over and you answer my question. I'm like, dang, bro.
Oh, that's probably some context for anyone listening. It's not just Tetris, by the way. It's like face-off Tetris style gameplay. So it's him versus somebody else. It's not just him putting the blocks down and trying to get the Tetris and the blocks just disappear. It's it's the actual face-off style Tetris. So it is intense situations because he's playing against somebody else. But that's why I was curious, because I'm really bad. I could be playing a regular, casual game, and I'm trying to read the chat, and I will streamer read so bad. I will miss some stuff. I will misread a lot of stuff. But knowing that, that you could do it, that's fucking awesome, dude. Because I can't do it. I can't do it at all.
I have two secrets here. So first secret is I have a 3-monitor setup. I'm fortunate to have a 3-monitor setup in where I stream from. So I have the game. So when I'm reading Tetris or playing any other game, my secret to reading chat is I have the game in the middle screen, and I have the chat pushed up against the sides of the other 2 monitors, so they're like right in my peripheral vision, so I can always see when a message is popping up on either side of my vision. The other secret to this is that, with the exception of Tetrio, which I've been playing more recently, which is much faster paced, and it's more difficult for me to read chat during games like Tetris 99 or other versus games are actually very forgiving when you're playing in versus mode, and they're slow enough that it is easy for me to like glance over, see that a new messages come through, read it, and then go back to what I was doing. With Tetrio, because the level of competition is so intense, it is that breaks down a little bit more, and I'm not able to do it. But I do always, that's something that I've been trying to be intent about since the very beginning of me streaming, is like, audience is king, right? So if people are taking the time, exactly, you bastards, if you're all taking time out to be watching me do, like I've said this verbatim before, like, for God's sakes, you're watching a dude spin blocks around and stack them up while you could be doing anything else on the internet. Like, God bless you. Like I will give you all of the attention that you want. Like, let's have a conversation and let's talk about what's actually happening here. Or when I'm playing any other game, right? Like, the reason that I play the games that I play is because I want to be able to share them with people. And if somebody wants to share something with me while I'm sharing that with people, like, I want to make sure that I put attention on them. That's why, like, I do try my best to pay attention to chat. Being able to pay attention to chat while playing Tetris at a speed that most people think is incomprehensible is just a neat party trick. Like, it's not it's a nice thing to whip out to pretend that I have the Sharingan, but I don't actually. It's just me being able to play faster. But it's me being able to play faster than maybe 50% of people out there, and using it to my advantage. It's no real it's no magic trick. It's just quick reading.
And shout out to the weebs out there that understood that reference too. You weebs.
I ain't explaining any of my references. Cool. So if you're out there, that's great. If you don't understand my references, we can talk about it. It's cool. Just let me know. I'm used to making as an old weeb myself. I'm used to making references that everyone goes like, Solomon, what the hell are you talking about? Like, what? What did you just say?
We can get onto the topic of anime a little bit, since that the three of us watch anime. I think I'm the least weeby here. I don't really consider myself a weeb. I watch it for fun. Okay. Dude, I'm so bad at watching anime because it's one of those things that I don't dedicate the time to watching stuff. I'll go on streams, I'll play some games, I'll go to work, things like that. But I, for some reason, never sit down to watch them, right? Like, just recently, I started watching Food Wars again, but from the very beginning.
Oh, nice.
I still haven't finished season 1. And when Robot asked me to watch, I think it was Robot. Did you ask me to watch? No, it was Demon Slayer, because I never watched it initially, but I had 2 weeks to actually watch it before we went to go watch the movie. So when the movie was coming out in theaters, he gave me 2 weeks to watch it, so I understood what was going on for Mugen Train. So that's how bad pretty much I am at watching stuff. I'll take weeks or months to watch even one season of a show.
I think that's fine though. For me, my barrier to watching stuff, anything these days, whether it's anime or anything else, is that I think I have a lot of I think my activation energy for watching anything is really high. So like, once I get over the hump of being like, okay, I'll sit down to watch this, like, then it becomes easier. I'm at the top of the hill, I'm just a boulder rolling down. Like, then okay, I'll watch a couple episodes here, I'll watch a couple of episodes there. And if I get really into it, like, that's when my consumption will start to increase. But otherwise, like, you can recommend me anything, I'll be like, whatever. I'll get around to it. Or like, no, it doesn't.
That's
Yeah,
what I was
doesn't really catch my interest. That's kind of whatever. I think the biggest example of this is like years and years and years ago, my cousin recommended that I watch Gurren Lagann, and it took me.
I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, me neither.
Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann, great show. But a couple. It took me months to watch the first episode. It took me like another month to watch the second episode, but then I started watching more and more, like a few episodes a week. By the time that I hit episode, it's like 17 out of 26 or something like that, I was watching multiple a day, and I was like, I need to have more. I must have more. I need
You got sucked into it. No.
Yeah, I got completely, wholly sucked into it. But that's how I consume stuff. So it takes me a little while to get the ball rolling, and then and that was like a long time ago. That was like over 10 years ago at this point. So that was but that's been kind of my thing, because I spend so much of my time, like playing video games and watching streams these days.
Oh yeah.
I'm the person in my friend group who are like, they're like, oh, Solomon, have you watched the new MCU whatever? And I'm like, no, I haven't, sorry. Like, oh, are you caught up on WandaVision? Like, oh no, I'm not. Like, are you gonna watch Eternals? And I'm like, no, I'm probably not.
Calling out our friend right now. Let's go.
Like, I'm not. I'm not that.
Hey, call her out, dude.
But I'll also say like if it, like, I have no problem with how people spend their time. I'm sure that people are like, Solomon, you're watching that dude play video games again. I'm like, hell yeah, I am. That's what I do while you're watching Falcon and Winter Soldier or whatever whatever happens to be.
Yeah, I'm over here playing the role.
Yeah, like that's the kind of thing that's the kind of situation I find when I'm trying to watch shows.
Robot, you watch them like almost every day, don't you?
Watch what? Is it anime?
Anime, like pretty much when you're going to sleep.
I'll try to, like, if I'm not extremely tired, then I'll watch an episode and then fall asleep. But I'm kind of on the same boat as Solomon a little bit when it comes to watching stuff like that. Like, it'll take me forever to start a show, or I get so many recommendations by one of our other friends. He always recommends me things, right? And I'm like, yeah, I have it on my list. Absolutely, it is.
Yeah, of course it's Emerald. You weeb.
And I have so many things on my list, but it takes me, I have to get past the first episode first. If I like the first episode, then I'll binge it. Like, that's the same thing I did with I did that with Demon Slayer. Everyone told me to watch that when it first came out, and I was like, oh, I gotta do it. And I did that. Watch that. Same thing with Kakegurui. Watch that one.
I don't think I've ever heard of that one.
It's that gambling one. Yeah. You know, it's on Netflix. It's a Netflix one. It's like the gambling one where the...
Oh, okay, yeah. The one where the school's about gambling, something like that?
Yeah. And they all have like orgasms because they're gambling so hard or something.
Food wars except gambling.
Yeah, except it's the rush, man.
Yeah, that makes sense too.
Rush in more than one way, I'm sure.
Honestly though, okay. What was the first anime that you guys remember watching? Like the first image that you could, whether it popped up on TV or it was, you opened up Netflix and this cool looking cartoon showed up. If you guys remember what it was,
and that I knew that it was an anime, or I knew that it was not an American produced production,
Japanese or Eastern anime. We can't say Avatar: The Last Airbender, even though that's a great anime, or Cory in the House. Cory in the House is a great anime as well.
Cory in the House. my favorite anime, Cory in the House.
Favorite Western anime, Cory in the House.
It was probably either Sailor Moon or Dragon Ball Z.
Let's go, Dragon Ball Z.
But like before it was on Toonami and Cartoon Network.
Oh,
like it was a long time ago. But I remember catching either of those shows, and they'd just be like randomly on some channel, and I'd catch a random episode, and that's when I
jump from like episode 5 to 23.
Right. Not even realizing like, oh, this is a show that has a plot that goes from episode to episode. Like that's what I remember.
Okay. What about you, Robot?
The last one I saw, so wait. So what was your question? It's like, it's the first show I saw immediately.
Yeah, the first anime you watched, and it can't be American made.
Oh, the first anime I watched.
Yeah, not the first show, because I can't even remember that.
K-On!
K-On! Was your first anime?
Yeah,
really?
That's what got me into it.
Wow, I didn't know that actually.
Oh, I feel like I remember you saying that, but I do remember also having a surprised kind of like, what a one to introduce what a one to be introduced to the wacky world of anime with.
It kind of it's one of those like really wholesome shows, and I was like, man, this is great, bro. I love this. It warms my heart. I'll get back from a long day of doing whatever I don't want to do, and then I sit down. Feel all giddy. Exactly, bro. And then not only that, but it also it's a show about them making music, and that's another thing that I love. So wholesome plus music, and that just became my absolute favorite anime ever in the world.
That's cool.
That's very big.
Y'all got way better answers than me. For me, it was technically, I can't remember which one came first, but I remember watching Dragon Ball Z a lot during the day, and then Inuyasha on Adult Swim. Those were the first two animes. I don't know which one came first, though. But they're relatively the same when it comes to action, so I'm pretty sure that's why I like action anime the most, since it was my introduction to anime in general.
Dragon Ball Z would have been on Cartoon Network before Inuyasha. That's for sure.
Yep. But I don't know which one I remember seeing first. That's the thing.
Inuyasha would have been part of kind of the wave that came after that, like after Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z and like those kinds of shows that had been around for a little while. Kind of reintroduced American audiences to those kinds of shows, and then like with Saturday morning cartoons also like bringing even more of those popular shows into. I know more than I should maybe about like 90s anime, 90s and early 2000 anime localization. So that timeline makes a lot of sense. I'll say that.
It probably, I'm gonna be honest, probably is Dragon Ball Z though, because for some reason Mexicans love Dragon Ball Z. I'm not 100% sure why, but it is one of the most popular animes down there. Apparently, as a Mexican myself, so nobody can get mad at me. Heck you.
My other Mexican friends have told me that apparently in Mexico it was easier to, or they got more episodes of Dragon Ball Z in Mexico earlier than we did here in the United States, and so it was very easy for like Mexican audiences to consume the whole of the series prior to when American audiences would have been able to, and so that was also part of it. That's because of like that's because of like licensing laws and things like that. I just had a conversation with somebody about this, but like I also have very distinct memories of it being I must have been in like 7th or 8th grade. And there's a channel called the International Channel. I remember this. And on Sunday nights, they would have Dragon Ball Z in Japanese without subtitles, but it would be ahead of where it would be on Toonami. So like you could watch ahead to see like stuff that you hadn't seen before. And then there would also be episodes of another really classic anime called The Slayers, and that one did have subtitles. And it would be, but it was like such a treat to be like, oh my gosh, like you can see like this thing that you usually can't see on American TV, like that'd be kind of a thing.
Yeah, it feels like you shouldn't be seeing that. Right, it adds more to it.
Man, it's like half spoilers because you don't know what's going on. You can physically see what's going on, but you can't understand what's going on. So oh man, I don't know if I would end up watching. But then again, like I'll watch a Japanese anime or like anime in general subbed, and it'll be one of those things that if I'm watching that, I have to sit down and read it. I can't just listen to it. I don't know Japanese enough to just listen to it and know what's going on. I have to see it and read it.
The only anime that I can watch without subtitles is Yu-Gi-Oh, but that's only because because the terms of the game are so fixed that it's easy to follow what's happening, even though I can't understand it conversationally. Like I can, dude. It's like I know how to play the game, so I can follow along with what people are saying without subtitles.
Can I ask a question that I just really love bringing up when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh?
Go ahead.
Do you think it was excessive the amount of times it went like anytime they put down a card?
No, because I'm all about saying things for dramatic effect. I'm totally into it.
He's gonna say things for dramatic effect.
I like that people get into roles, and if your fictional world is going to be based around where card games are the most important thing to anybody that exists in that universe, like I do think that people would actually do that. Like if we waged actual war and combat, or buying things at the grocery store with card games, I think that we would do that in real life as well. We see that in real life sports all the time. We see that in soccer all the time. People taking dives all the time. That's for dramatic effect. I think that if we treated card games like we treated professional sports, people would be doing that all the time.
I would love to watch esports when it comes to that, but I don't know if it'll ever get as popular in that manner, unfortunately.
But I don't know, man. Some of those announcers really go off. Like,
oh, dude,
the Korean
ones.
Yeah,
they do.
Dude, they absolutely pop off. It's so fun watching those.
This is one channel that I watch every now and then. It's just Korean volleyball, just because I watched Haikyuu, so that I was like, this is cool.
I love Haikyuu.
Dude, no subtitles, nothing, no English over voice. It's just Korean volleyball, and that's it. I don't know what the hell is going on, but the announcers are so into it. Like once one of the team scores, the other like, oh, and I was like, oh god, what's going on? I get so excited too.
That's exciting though. Like I think that's something that's really exciting when you can like feel the palpable energy. Like I can't understand what they're saying, but like yeah, those commentators are really into it. Like that's a great thing to be able to watch other people, get excited about a thing they're excited about. What's wrong with that? Nothing wrong there.
When, like the closest thing I can, anyone who watches sports, and if you watch like English, or I could probably say in the U.S. compared to Mexico, compared to Britain, or things, the commentators are so different. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's being biased, but one of my favorites is just Mexican or like just Spanish commentators in general. They get very, very into it, and especially when they just start holding notes for no goddamn reason, especially in soccer. It's one of my growing up with that was just great for some reason, because I'll have someone watching soccer or football, if you want to call it that, in the other room, and I would just get like slightly hyped up. Didn't know who was playing, didn't know what was going on, or it could have been just a grudge match, a cup of some sort, but I would just have like a smile hit my face whenever I would hear the commentator go, "Goal!" And it was just hype, dude.
I mean, American sports commentators wish that they could give people that elation when they hear somebody yell "goal!" Right? Like, there's no equivalent.
Goal!
There's no equivalent.
Bro, when I think of American commentators, I think of Wii Sports. That's how I think of it, man.
I mean, some American sports commentators wish they could have the energy of Wii Sports.
Oh my
Good
god!
job.
I mean, at least there. Nice. But I don't know, man. Wii Sports definitely has. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Sorry to change subjects again, but Nintendo Switch Sports
you're in
is
the driver's
coming out.
seat. Yeah, you're in the driver's seat. We're just here for the ride.
Hell yeah. Nintendo Switch Sports is coming out. Are you guys going to be getting that by chance?
It's on my radar to pick up, because I do like Wii Sports, and I think having a game like that is just nice to have with groups of people, just because like it's easy to get into, and it looks like a lot of fun.
Yep.
Like it's something that the Switch should have launched with, quite frankly.
Honestly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. I would have got it if they added like some classics. Like baseball isn't on there, right?
No,
baseball isn't on there. Boxing.
They're already saying that they're going to be adding things, though.
Yeah,
so I'm not
There's like one game. Well, it's golf right now, isn't it? That they're what? Before we give misinformation out there, you guys keep talking. I'm going to be looking it up right now.
Yeah, I believe that they're adding at least one more game, and Nintendo is actually pretty good about adding stuff to their their cared for first party titles. So yeah, I have no reason to believe that there wouldn't be a little something added.
Yeah, I'll say. I mean, they added what? It took them like 5 years to add DLC for Mario Kart.
That's
So-
a
oh
little.
my God.
That's
And
a
it's not
little
even
bit different.
DLC.
That's a little bit different.
It's not 5 years. That game came out in 2017 for the Nintendo Switch, or not the Switch, the Wii U. The Wii U. It initially came out for the Wii U, and then they made
really?
a deluxe for the Switch, and now they're coming out with DLC. But
I would
okay,
say,
that's
but
something.
I mean, we can talk Mario Kart if you want to. I prefer that approach to them releasing Mario Kart 9 and making me pay $60 again, because I had Mario Kart 8 on Wii U with all the DLC, and I didn't buy that, and I didn't buy it again on Switch until very recently because a bunch of friends were playing like weeklies with Mario Kart, and I was like, okay, I'll buy it, and it was still $60. And I was like, they got me again.
Like, they're really good at that, man. Okay, so the Nintendo Switch Sports is coming out with volleyball, badminton, bowling, soccer. I forgot what the sword fighting one was called, and tennis.
Zambada.
Yeah,
Tennis.
Shambada.
I don't even
Wait,
know if
That's
that's the
what it's
correct
coming out with,
pronunciation.
and eventually they're coming out with golf.
Okay, that still seems like a solid set to me.
That's good. It's good.
It is a solid set, but it would be nice to see them even coming out with, baseball and a couple of others, but maybe one or two more sports. Because I can see myself playing, everyone's going to be playing tennis and bowling. Those are going to be the biggest one, at least in my opinion. Volleyball is going to be sick. Soccer is going to be sick. Badminton? And we didn't get to try that. The beta didn't allow it.
Threw in there. Why wouldn't they
Yeah.
just add tennis?
Oh, did you get to play
So
during the
why
play
badminton?
test?
I was very happy. I got to play 2 out of the 3 2 days out of the 3.
That's good.
I enjoyed it. It was fun. Chambara is actually really good. Apparently they're adding a ranked mode as well.
Oh
If
boy.
you guys ever decided to get into
Oh my
ranked
gosh.
Nintendo Switch Sports, esports time.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that they'll be rolling out scholarship programs for that across the country.
About to become a professional badminton Nintendo Switch sports game player, whatever.
Professional
But-
badminton player through
Oh
Wii
my
Sports.
Okay, not gonna lie, the professional badminton, kinda sick.
You think
Switch
so?
Sports professional? I don't know.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
feel
they
like
actually get pretty sick.
I feel like once you start seeing things at the professional level, it could be almost anything, and I think that I would find it impressive though. Like if there
Yeah.
were a professional Wii Sports, or excuse me, Nintendo Switch Sports badminton league, like I'll bet that they have a way to make that look badass. Kind of like
Oh,
when you see
man.
professional table tennis for the first time, and you're like, hey, professional table tennis, what could that look like? And then they're all like real life Super Saiyans with like the fastest reaction times you've ever seen, snapping the ball across the table from 30 feet away. Like it's incredible to watch, right? Like, so
It
I'm
is.
sure that somebody could be like, oh yes, I'm a professional Nintendo Switch Sports badminton player, and then you watch them, like, they're
But
They're a
just
little-
having
my
that title,
God.
they're a physical god. I had no idea.
yeah, I just can't take that title serious. Professional Switch Sports badminton player.
Yeah,
That's
you
a
just
big
wait.
Title.
You wait for them to twist it up like I did with you with a amateur broadcaster. Like they'll come up with a way.
NSS. NSS. Just keep it professional
yeah,
NSS
yes.
badminton.
NSS.
Man.
Did you? That's a lot of. That's like 5 years of schooling for that, isn't it? Like, oh yeah,
Mhm,
yeah.
mhm.
Oh yeah.
It sounds like a university. Oh my god.
Dude,
But-
I don't know. I want them to add basketball. That was the one I was looking forward to the absolute most from like Wii Sports Resort. I wanted
be
basketball
fun.
so much
That was the
because
thing?
of the pickup games. Yeah. They had pickup game,
Oh.
then they had the free throws, and they had one other one that you could do in basketball. I think you could play it online, but I wanted
I
that
have
so
some
bad.
high hopes at least, but yeah, basketball would be dope to play. The only thing, or I could say, what else I'm excited about this is hosting tournaments, or at least friendly tournaments, because I don't see why people wouldn't want to join, because it's one of those games like you can either play casually, you can play ranked now apparently, but to be able to play with a group of people is the reason for this, right? You're either
Right.
playing yourself or you're playing with a group of people, but most of the time will be with a group of people. So hosting tournaments, whether it's on stream or in Discord, it just sounds like a lot of fun to me.
Yeah, I
And
think
throw in $20 to the winner, and oh yeah, people are gonna get into it. All right,
Oh yeah, anytime there's money on the line.
I mean,
my money on the line.
Sometimes you don't even need to offer. Well, I mean, a little bit of money goes a long way, but sometimes you're just like, what, playing games with the homies for the next 4.5 hours? Like, sign me up.
Sign me up.
Somebody sponsor, please, so that I don't have to do the whole $20 out of pocket.
Bro, I'm trying my hardest.
That's the dream.
To sponsor?
No, dude, imagine.
Oh.
Imagine you get Dr. Squatch to sponsor.
Oh.
I just want them, in specific, only them, to sponsor my Super Smash Brothers tournament, bro.
Heck yeah.
What's Dr. Squatch? Educate me. I don't know what this is.
Oh, we're glad you asked.
I'll fill you in here. Dr. Squatch,
tell me more.
Is a fantastic brand new soap bar, and not even soap. They have so many other fantastic line of things to just make you clean. They got toothpaste, they got deodorant, they got shampoo, conditioner, and soap bars, and it's all organic. There's absolutely none of those chemical stuffs in there. You can pronounce every single thing on the back. It's great.
Oh, so it's like Chipotle.
We'll have
dude, it's a Chipotle of soap.
We'll fix that up and have one a little bit more professional.
Yeah.
The talking points. I gotta write it
down. Robot. When you're delivering an ad read, you got to look right down the barrel of your camera. Turn from your screen into to your camera and let them know what the product is.
It's just fantastic. But yeah,
that'll be the end.
Yeah, it's just great. Buy it.
Oh my god! Which, by the way, this episode is not sponsored. We don't have sponsorships, but hopefully in the future we can get some. So that would be dope.
It's been my perspective. I've never been sponsored ever. Is that true? Hold on. Let me think back to make sure that I'm not lying. Nothing I've done for streaming has been sponsored in that way. But that's something that I have thought about, of like, how do you turn around the money that you make from streaming into, like everybody says, like, oh, we put this money toward making it a better streaming experience for you, kind of stuff. Or I think most of the people that I know say that anyway, and I say that too. Like I've used that money to get like better lighting or camera, or pay for a game that people wanted me to play. Like that's the kind of stuff that I've done. But I do sometimes wonder, like, God, like, for people for whom that isn't an issue, like, what are they turning it around into? I guess it's just putting the food on the table, right? Like is that when oh
man,
when oh God, what are they called? When Dollar Shave Club knocks on your door, they're like, here, you want to talk about our razors and we'll give you whatever money. Like, okay, I guess I'm
money.
Guess I'm doing this now.
Oh my god,
that's like another echelon of existence.
Yeah. I've listened to another podcast that are a bunch of YouTubers, right? And they get sponsorships. Apparently, someone was offering $3,000 for a sponsored video, right? A segment. Apparently, $3,000 was lowballing for that video. How is that lowballing, dude?
I mean, it's all about the reach, right? Like
my
God. If they're offering $3,000, that means that they believe that they can get back twice that money, just like that, and they probably do. Like if that's the kind of money that they're offering for something like that.
I'm just like, man, it's
crazy,
bro. If we can get that once a week per episode, we can have a whole studio at that point.
Oh heck yeah, bro! I'd go to town on the studio. That'd be sick. It's like, and I mean, it sounds like a lot more to us too, because we don't make that kind of money like they do. But also they have like their own brands basically.
Yeah,
and they have people helping them.
Yeah, that's a mo money mo problems situation for sure though. Like that's a whole that's like what you were talking about with Ludwig, right? Like how much do you have to manage on top of that in order to make branded sponsored content like that happen? It's a whole production. It's a real production.
He gets to call his agent or whoever his manager is to see if he can make financial purchases of 100,000 or more. That is insane, dude.
Oh boy.
You got at that point. But hey, I don't know if you know this, bro, but one of us here actually has been sponsored before.
What?
On a live stream. Yeah, dude. Mr. Red Eagle Eyes over here has been sponsored by none other than the one that everyone in the entire universe has been sponsored by. Raid Shadow Legends.
Raid Shadow Legends. Actually, this will be great if you ever want to do sponsored streams, because they didn't reach out to me. And Stream Elements, even if you don't use them as like your main system, they have this program where you can actually sign up for sponsorships, and I got sponsored by Raid twice, and one I think, let me see, I'm gonna open it up. I think I've done 4 sponsored streams. I was
going to say, like, how's that roadmap to looking? Did you get did you get the number of people that had to get to level 20 or whatever? Friends of mine have joked about that for a while now. Like, well, if each of us have two or 3 mobile devices, like, could we actually turn this into something worthwhile for our time? The answer for us so far has been no. But apparently, what you're telling me is that there is a way.
There is a way.
That's what we did.
Because it's one of those things that I haven't had them in a while. I actually didn't know there was a sponsorship that I missed, and oh my god! But I don't think I would have had people do this one. It was HelloFresh. But that's subscription based, and that would mean people would have to subscribe, and I don't think I want to do that for them. Because at least Raid, you just download a free game, play it, and that's it, right?
Yeah.
Give my whole family to download it.
Yeah.
HelloFresh is definitely looking for your money.
Based.
Yeah.
Because it does say here up to 5K, which would be probably like 30 people subscribing and all that stuff. But I don't know if I'd be able to do that, to be honest. The other sponsorship that I got, oh my god, that game sucked, man. That game sucked. I can't necessarily say. I can't necessarily say because I did. Yeah, I did sign their contract, but. Man, it's completed though. That's the thing. It is completed.
No, trim this segment. You'll be able to.
Yeah, we'll cut it out. Pretend like we're starting over. What was the other one? Oh, bro, I love that one.
Yeah, my favorite game, mobile game. That game was boring.
They want you to be jeopardizing future opportunities.
Dude, no, but for real, that game was boring. If you don't know about it, good. Don't download it.
Ooh.
It's bad. It was. I think I got down to like 4 viewers eventually. I was trying so hard to keep it entertaining, but I lost interest 30 minutes into the 2-hour segment. So that was a harsh thing to do.
It's hard with those mobile games because also it has those meters, like those energy meters and stuff.
Oh,
dude,
you
can only do it for a certain amount of time. Yeah, and then once you get to that point, you're like, well, now what? I guess it just gotta be funny.
I'm just showing that you can easily get to this, and don't get me wrong, I had a few perks to the, I got extra in-game currency so that I can speed up the process, and even then I would hit that wall. So how are you gonna get regular average players? I don't recommend that.
Something that I wanted to know from the two of you, because I think the two of you do have different audiences to me. It's like I want to know what were your influences for how it is that you do your streams or how it is that you do your content creation. Like, did you have anybody that you purposefully tried to model yourself after, or looked at like particular things about a way that a person did something? You're like, I want to incorporate that into what I do, because I know that you've both been doing it for quite some time now. I'm always interested to hear about like what your influences were in that kind of way. Like, what broadcasters were you looking at being like, I want to take a little bit of that and have that for myself.
Actually, didn't have anyone streaming that I started streaming just to stream. I didn't have anyone, didn't follow anybody. I got on the website.
But there weren't any like podcasters, musicians, YouTubers, anything that you were just like, I'm just going to go for it and go and dig in.
Yeah, we're going back in time right now to 2010. That's pretty much when I started watching YouTubers and specifically C-Nanners, Hutch, and a bunch of those like old OG YouTubers on when it comes to the gaming side. So C9ers was the one who I would watch. I think it was. This is funny to say. Minecraft was the reason why I found him.
Oh heck yeah!
And it was
that's cool.
This was so long. I think it was like the beta version of Minecraft. Just seeing for some reason him being able to build stuff out of it, I was like, this is cool. But I would watch him because of Call of Duty as well. And then just one day he did Minecraft, and I was like, oh, that's cool. So I ended up watching a lot of his videos. Really wanted to get into video sharing or gameplay, and it was one of those things of like, I don't even know how to explain it. I just really enjoy sharing content, whether it's on stream or off stream. So I think that's the easiest way to explain it. Now would definitely be Goons, which is a podcast gaming group. They're definitely a big influence right now. But originally it was definitely C9ers. Robot, you can go. I'm sorry to cut you off.
That's okay. I was gonna ask you if you want to go first, anyways.
Yeah.
For me, it's this dude on YouTube. His name's Maddie M with like 3 M's. He's fantastic. Love that guy. And he makes covers of like video game stuff or mostly anime. And I was watching a bunch of his videos, and I was like, man, I didn't even know that this was like a genre on YouTube of things that you can do. And then I was looking, there's so many other channels. Like there's him, and then there's another one that I love this guy too. His name's Gabriel Armenta. And he makes some insane covers, and it's all such, so good, high quality. They use super good gear and stuff like that. And it's like, it made me want to, it inspired me. I was like, man, I have all this great gear. I'm making music just because it's fun. I might as well post it too, and I'm fortunate enough to have a nice smartphone with a good camera on it. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna learn how to do the film. What is it called? Photography, or the film version?
Videography.
Yeah, I'm gonna learn how to do that. Get all the different visuals. How to like make the background blurry, how to get the perfect angles and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I just make it look really nice.
Cinematography.
Yeah, cinematography. There you go. Yeah. That's what I was thinking of.
Up your production values.
Mm-hmm. And it's just stuff like that. And also, not only that, but when you post a video, and then no matter it doesn't have to get a lot of views at all. If it even gets more than like 10 views, that's just dopamine. It makes me happy.
It's a goal.
Yeah, I'm like, heck yeah, man. That's what I like to see. People see. I don't know if they liked it or not, but I know I'm getting out there.
You don't have to like me, but you did see me.
But you did see me, and that made me happy.
But you've actually been having genuine growth. You're over 200 subs already as it is.
Yeah, dude.
Which is awesome.
That's great.
It's kind of insane, actually. I mean, that's what everyone says. I was expecting this to happen. But like, I did my that Ben 10 cover, and that's like my best one right now. It's
16K. I have Ben 10.
Is that 16?
That's pretty great. Yeah, it's
go,
16K.
Dude. That's what I like to hear.
That's awesome.
It's
awesome
to
be able to make something and have it, and know that it's been seen by people like that. Like, that's really, really cool.
Makes me happy. And now I just do it all the time.
I know there's a difference when it comes to my content that's live, and then like content that I make for like YouTube or TikTok, whatever, because I like to shitpost a lot of my stuff, but the ones that pop off the most are always how-tos or tutorials. For some reason, those are my videos that pop off the most and get over 10K views. I have no idea why.
It's because that's what people are looking for, man. Like,
yeah,
that's why.
Like, I'm not upset about.
It's not that hard.
But the only thing that I don't like is that, knowing myself, if I'm looking up how-tos, I'm not subbing. I'll like the video. I'm not sticking around though, because I just need that one thing. And if I get that one thing, I'm gone. And
if I go to
go ahead.
If I go to a how-to and it starts off with, "Hey guys, thanks for coming to my video. If you want to see other tutorials, please like, comment, subscribe to the," and there's like an 8-minute introduction. I'm like, nah, skip it. I'm gonna find another tutorial.
For the love of God, please! I'm trying to feed my family.
Yeah, exactly. No, but now that I know what it goes toward, like I'll hit that subscribe. But
there, I don't know. It's like I want gameplay to pop off more than than how-tos, which I'll get subs out of the how-tos, which is nice. So there's still a chance, but I haven't been wanting to make only how-tos.
So that's a trap that you can't fall into. You know, like you can't follow the rabbit hole of being like, well, I guess this is the thing that did the best, so this is the thing that's going to define me for the rest of my internet career. Like that's a trap that you fall into. You can't do that. You got to still do stuff that you find worthwhile doing. Otherwise, you do become like, oh, there's that channel for the how-tos. You don't want to do that. That's no fun.
Unless you're how-to basics, then that was a great channel. That guy was smart.
I mean, unless
clever.
like how-tos are my passion. Like this is what I want to bring to people. Like, hey, if that's your flavor of ice cream, like go for it. But if it's not, like it doesn't have to be your flavor.
You know what? Thinking of it now, I actually make how-to videos out of spite because I hate how other people make them. Like how you brought it up, where like, hey guys, if you want to support me, watch the rest of it. No,
that's a very powerful.
Get to the damn point of the video. That's how I make the how-tos. They're short, they're straight to the point, and that's it. No, hey guys, what's going on? No, stop. Hey guys, thanks for watching. This is how you do this. Boom, easy.
I'm all right.
So I know a big motivation for myself is spite, which is probably not the best, but hey, it's a big motivator though.
Yeah, definitely not the best.
I mean, for tutorials, if I'm going on YouTube for a tutorial, I'm already at the last straw. I'm like, where's the written article that just gives me the step by step about how to do something? I don't need a video walkthrough. I know how to click on an icon. So please,
please get it, bro.
Please, somebody on Reddit have written about this before, so I can just follow somebody's written steps. Like that. That's usually my go-to for tutorials.
And then you find the golden thread of 5 years ago.
Someone had the exact same problem.
Yeah,
somebody had the exact same problem.
Oh my god,
that guy on Reddit.
That has saved my. Hey, shout out to that guy on Reddit, dude. That saved my ass sometimes.
Oh yeah, that's like count. That's like the best experience. Like, oh, thank you, whoever you are.
Thank you, Ass Blaster Master, for making out to.
Yeah, thank you, Ass Blaster Master 69420 for having this exact same problem as me 8 years ago, and you decided to post on this subreddit that nobody goes to anymore. The internet never forgets.
There's gonna be someone with that username, 100%. There's no way I made that one up before someone else did.
Hey, if that's your alt, you got to change it now. People are gonna find it.
I'm about to claim it. Huh?
Dang. Well, we are getting close to the end here of the podcast. I didn't realize we've been going for like almost an hour and 30. I think that was what we were thinking, right? At the cap. So did you have another question?
Yeah, that's I guess we can end it off on one going back to Twitch then, since if we're on it right now. Let's see. Let me look at my handy dandy notepad.
Get your notepad. Dude, I want to see your setup.
All right, right here. All right, perfect one. If you could choose between a chicken sandwich or burgers for the rest of your life, which one would you choose?
Now, when you're talking chicken sandwiches, you're like the breaded chicken sandwiches of like these chain restaurants. Is that what you mean?
Fast food chicken sandwiches.
A fast food chicken sandwich. I would definitely go for burgers. I feel like there's more
for the
variety.
Rest of your life.
I feel like am I eating this exclusively, or is this like? Anytime I go to this place, anytime I go to this type of place, I can only have either a burger or a chicken. But I am eating other foods in my daily life, or am I only eating this one thing for the rest of my life? Which one is it?
You choose one, and you've been banned for the rest of your life to eat the other item.
I see.
Okay.
Somehow.
in that case, I still choose burgers. I think that there's enough variety. On the other side on the side of burgers to keep my life fresh.
What about you, guy? You choosing chicken sandwiches or burgers?
Bro, I'm on the complete other side, bro. A chicken all the way. Sammy? I'm always a chicken Sammy boy. And not only that, but what if I don't, if I've had a bunch of them in a row, I'm like, man, I don't really want it in sandwich form. I can just take it apart and then rip up the chicken, make something else with the chicken.
When was the last time that you went to a fast food restaurant and opened up the chicken burger patty and was like, you know what? I'm going to have a transformative experience with this chicken burger. You've never done that.
Bro, have you ever turned a chicken sandwich into a salad, guy? I don't think so.
Guy, when I was little, I would peel off the skin of the chicken nuggets from McDonald's.
What the hell?
And I would mix it with what would I mix it with? What did I mix it with? I just remember peeling it off for some reason.
Lies and deception? I don't think this actually happened.
No,
what are you talking about?
I swear,
Who
bro,
is peeling?
Because I prefer grilled chicken. Like I'd rather not have the breading on it, right?
Okay, understandable, but the fact that you're shearing your chicken nuggets,
shearing. Oh no,
I like that word for it. Yeah, I used to shear my chicken nuggets. I don't know why, I just did. But dude, you could totally mix it with a salad. I have never done it before.
Chicken nugget shearer.
Chicken nugget shearer.
$5 a month gets you chicken recipes from Robot once a month.
Yeah. All the things you can do with McDonald's chicken nuggets. I got you covered, bro. Those are the most
expensive chicken nuggets on the market. I'm just... Also, to answer the question, I'm a burger guy, so...
I feel like the question that was going around other circles was like, are you which one is more hype, hot dogs or hamburgers? And that caused some controversy with some real life friends recently.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Burgers definitely still got more to offer than a hot dog.
Like I think that most people were on your side. I'm also on your side on this question, but the hot dogs are more hype crowd were definitely ardent defenders of that viewpoint.
They're diehard fans, pretty much.
Yeah, they're diehards. But you know that's a black hole we can venture into in another time. I realize we're on a limited timeline at this point.
Diehard Weenie Hut Junior's fans. That's wild, bro.
Average Weenie Hut Junior Chad or something.
Chad Wiener Schnitzel over here.
Hell yeah, dude. But it's funny because I know starting off this podcast, we mentioned it on the first one that our goal is to hit 30 minutes, but we easily blew that out of the waters.
I feel like if you wanted to do a 30-minute format, you'd probably have to get pretty used to a very tight interview style kind of thing.
It'd be a straight interview. There would be no conversation at all whatsoever.
Hey, that would suck.
Oh,
there's a place for that though. Like if you had special guests that are maybe more interesting than me, then I think that's a very efficient use of your time, right? To be like, all right, we got some important things to ask you. Like if you have a couple stories that you want to tell, that's really cool. We want to put that out there. But I do think that leaning that direction is an interesting way to go versus like, I don't know if you've ever listened to podcasts that just like let themselves sprawl out for like hour, 45 minutes, 2 hours, 3 hour formats where I'm like, I don't know what people are talking about anymore. I think that those are the best when they have direction. I think that if they like truly are just like spiraling infinite pathway, then I'm like, I think I'm just listening to people talk at this point. Which there's nothing wrong with, but that's like a very different thing to a podcast in my mind. That's like when I'm on Chewy's stream and I'm just helping him co-host. We're just talking. Like that's different to me than a podcast.
Also, I think the mic had cut out at that little like break because I thought you were still talking and then you just suddenly stopped. So I was waiting for you to say more.
Say hello.
I think that's just Discord though breaking down. But yeah, I guess we can pretty much end it there. Thank you so much. So anyone who wants to know who he is or wants to follow him on social media, it was twitch.tv/BombSolomon. And yeah, he's a streamer. He plays Tetris as well as, you say Smash Brothers?
I don't stream Smash because I don't trust myself to not swear while playing Smash Brothers.
Understandable. Is there anything else you want to say for yourself?
I just want to say big thank you to Robot and Red for having me on their podcast as their first ever guest. I feel so honored, and thank you for having me here. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you. If anyone checks out what I do, greatly appreciated. But if you don't, I will slip back into the background.
Robot, do you have anything to say as well?
No, everyone knows what to do. Just subscribe to our channel.
Honestly, yeah, subscribe to us on YouTube. It is the BoyoZ. I should probably put a link on that into the actual channel and all that good stuff. If you want to follow us individually, at Red Eagle Eyes on Twitch as well as on Twitter. And then for Robot, it is Dude Robot on Twitch, Dude Robot _ on Twitter. And thank you guys so much for listening. Really do appreciate it. And we'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care.